Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I am an immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. I hope you all are doing well. This is episode number 322 of the Immigration Answer Show. I'll be here for the next hour answering as many of your immigration law related questions as possible. Looks like the waiting room is already full. If that bums you out, if you wish that you were on the waiting list or you were in the waiting room already, I suggest that you go ahead and get on our texting list, and you do that by texting the word show, SHOW, to 314-470-3300. That way you'll get alerted for the link which we generate each day before today's show or each show. We'll be back on Thursday and Friday at 4 p.m. both times this week. So looks like we already have a lot of people in the waiting room. Looks like there's a lot of questions that people have, a lot of comments. Glad to see everybody here. If you could, let Skyla know that you're here. She's watching over our comments. We usually don't have the time to answer people's comments. It's pretty much just for the people that are live. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk to Bambi. Hi, Bambi.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi, Jim. Good to see you. Thanks for taking my call. I've been watching your show every day.
Nice. Thank you.
The last 3-4 months, and every day I say I wanna ask some questions. Some questions. So yesterday I just WhatsApp your number and telling about my situation, and they put me in this waiting list. So this is my call. This is my question. November the 17th, 2022. So 3 months and a half ago, me and my husband, we had our second fraud interview. And after 3 hours, almost 4 hours, we've been separated, interviewed separately. After at the end, the two officers, they told us they found some discrepancies, and they were issuing a note, but nothing happened nothing happened yet. So we don't know what to think, if there's something weird, because the way they talk, they first of all they were trying to to tell my husband, that is the petitioner, to withdraw the case, that he was on time, that he had 10-15 days to send a letter, to withdraw the case in their PO box. They give him the address and stuff. My husband said, hey, I don't need it, I don't want to withdraw, and blah blah blah. And they said, okay, so if you don't want to do it, because they were trying to scare us, if you don't want to do it, we're going to send people to your door. We're going to send people to your job. Okay, we said, no problem. Nothing happened yet. So after 3 months and a half, is it normal that a noid didn't arrive yet? This is my first question, because I've been waiting every day.
Which field office?
San Diego.
What was your immigration status before you applied for your green card?
I came here with a NESTA in 2019, January, and my ESTA was for 6 months for some reasons, and I overstayed, and we got married in February 2020.
Why don't they like your case?
Okay, during the first interview, that was July 21. Okay, we got married February 2020. We applied September 2020, and we had our interview.
Why did you wait so long to file if you were out of status?
Yeah, I wait because COVID started, and we knew that we needed a co-sponsor, because my husband back in the days he wasn't making so much money enough to sponsor me. So it took me time to find a co-sponsor. It took us time. Then I found it, and it was in September we applied. So during the first interview in July, our interview or yeah, still took long because it was almost 2 hours. She started
So
to,
you've been interviewed a total of 6 hours.
first time it was almost 2 hours, yes, and the second time 3 months ago it was almost 4 hours, yes.
Did they separate you both times?
No,
Did you
no,
did you bring a lawyer to the second interview?
yes, the lawyer that filed the papers,
Mhm.
but the first time he didn't come with us because he said that it was very a very easy case.
Okay, so I don't know if you were done telling me
But it
why you
wasn't.
I don't know if we were done with you telling me why you think they might not like your case.
Oh, no, I was just explaining the
Yeah.
whole situation.
It's all good.
We think that they didn't like us, especially my husband, because they started uh, asking questions only to him, and he didn't know about the first questions about fees to petition me. He didn't remember all the amount of the fees, and my husband said, "Hey, I was working, she was home, so she went to pay the fees. I gave her the money and blah blah blah." The other questions that they asked him, it was everything okay. Just they didn't like the way I think how we started. We think, but yeah, it was, we were alone, we were without lawyers, so we didn't know what to expect. She was keeping asking for 10 times, what's your date of birth, what's your date of birth, what's your date of birth, like if it was stupid. We think to make him frustrated and stressed out. But that's it. At the end of the first interview, she said, "I'm not secure. I'm not sure. We're gonna send you a request of evidence." She did it, and we collect more proofs, more evidence, and we sent all the proof with the affidavits and stuff in the next 3 months. And we've been waiting for another year until October that they called us for a second interview, and we knew at that point what was expecting us.
And everything's cool with you and your spouse?
Yes, yeah, we live together. We've been here for in the same house, on the same lease with for 3 years. Our neighbors, the property manager lives upstairs. She knows us. We're just waiting for them. I mean, to make some phone call and ask the manager.
Sounds like you need to sue them.
Exactly. So I didn't know if I can sue them before Annoyed arrives. So that was my question also.
Sure.
Because I never heard that Annoyed takes so long to arrive.
They're just sitting on the case hoping that you get divorced.
It's not gonna happen.
Good.
It's not gonna happen. Because
I like that answer.
It's not gonna happen. No.
I like it. Yeah, I think if you sue them, if you want to get them moving on things, you need to sue them, because they might come knock on your door at 5:30 in the morning, but you're not worried about that. They might send you Annoyed, but you're not worried about that. If the marriage is legit, then sue them and then see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to email Alex Pina that I talked to him 3 months ago after the interview.
Alex left, but
so something went in my mind, because I said, it's not replying me. I need to do something. I can't wait anymore.
Yeah, Skylo will look you up here in a little bit and send you an email. If you don't get an email, just send us an email, info@hackinglawpractice.com or info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Incidentally, my wife is going to San Diego tomorrow for a Stokes interview. They said it's going to be 4 hours. So there's some crabby people over there in San Diego.
They're very suspicious, always suspicious. The worst thing that when we started the interview, they were super nice, super nice. Two women, two girls, and at the end there was another person looking at us through the camera in another room. But they were super so I was interviewed for second. Of course, petitioner is my husband to see was the first one. And when he went out, he said, "Don't worry, it's okay." And they were super. At the end, they were very, very different. Like
Right.
if they were trying to catch us in some weird thing. But...
All right. Thanks so much for
Okay.
calling, Bambi. We'll follow up. Okay.
Thank you so much, Jim. Thanks for
Have
your
a good
help.
day.
Have a good day. Bye.
See ya. All right. All right. For those of you who can't tell, I'm back on my main camera, so I got everything set up the way I want it. So hopefully the video is good. Next up, Duval. Hi, Duval.
Good afternoon, Jim.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. Hope your Monday has been and Tuesday has been good so far.
Sure. What's up?
I came on the show about 2 weeks ago to talk about my CSPA situation.
Okay.
I was initially considered aged out, but with the changes in the regulation, I followed up with you about it.
Yep.
And you mentioned to like follow up with your office, and I spoke to Daniel, and it's been and
we all talked about it, and the thing is, your case needs some serious research, and we thought about charging you for that research and doing the research, but the fact of the matter is we are down one attorney and we just don't have the bandwidth to do the research because we're working on so many cases.
Yes, sir. So I guess if you could refer me to someone, or I guess if you want me to, like, I could also like fill out the paperwork and do the heavy lifting. I would just need some kind of like guidance, right, on how should I follow up. I mean, the paperwork says that you need to appeal to open your file again, and then go from there. So I guess how should I proceed?
That's what I'm saying. Procedurally, I don't even know, and I would need a lawyer to research it to tell you correctly, and I don't have the bandwidth to do that work.
Okay, I understand. And then there's another situation where my friend who sought asylum, who was on bond in the U.S. For an immigration bond, he's now a permanent resident in Canada. So he wants to hire a lawyer to get his bond money.
But he left the United States?
Correct. But he didn't tell the judge
he's not going to get that bond money.
Okay, he's not. Okay, I'll let him know. But I guess for my situation, no other, I guess just seek out another lawyer.
Yeah, where do you live?
I'm currently in Illinois.
Like Chicago?
No, like by St. Louis, like Fairmont City on the border.
Yeah. Look up Sarah Molina, see if Sarah Molina can help you, or I'd start with Sarah, maybe Raymond Borlucci, one of those two. Sarah Molina, Molina, or Ray Borlucci, which is Bourtchi.
Okay.
All right.
I'll follow up with those two. Thank you.
Thanks, Duval. See you, buddy. Yeah. Next up, Kapil. Hi, Kapil.
Hi, Jim. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Yeah, so I needed your help. I filed for change of status from F1 to marriage-based green card, and I applied in June. So far, there has been no movement. And meanwhile, my OPT ended, and I enrolled in a different program to maintain my status, which is proving costly. So when is the earliest I can come to you to file that mandamus case so I don't have to maintain this F1 because it's costly, and I would rather give that money towards suing the government?
I appreciate that. So you filed for an EAD?
Yes.
What's the receipt date on the EAD?
June 28, 2022.
Why don't we just sue on the EAD? That's what you really need, right?
No, I won't start working. I'll still maintain my F1.
So the soonest is a year.
Okay. And they tell me, my case is now in Chicago, and they tell me the interview is waived, but I see people in same status and from my country have been waiting for much earlier than me. So it's not as if in next 2-3 months anything will happen until I sue.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you will, but if not, let me know.
Okay.
Right.
And you think they will interview me for sure, even if they say they have waived the interview if I sue them?
It's hard to tell. There's no real rhyme or reason to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks,
the question.
Kapil.
Yeah. Thank
See you,
you.
buddy. Okay, bye-bye. All right, next up, Sunita. Hi, Sunita.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
So I'm good. I'm great, actually. I don't have a question, but I just want to call in to thank you and your team. So my application got approved today.
Nice.
So yeah, so
When did
thank you. I
when
want
did we when did we file the lawsuit?
to no, you didn't do a lawsuit, but my case, you guys will handle my case. My the green card application, yeah, and that was in August of last year.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give a big shout out to Juliana. She was a paralegal on my case. She was so awesome. At first, it was Alinka. She was there in first couple of months, and then she took over. So I want to say thank you guys for
Well,
everything
great.
that you did.
I'll tell them. That was my next question. Was who is your paralegal? So that's great. I will let them
Y-
both know how happy you are, and I'll share this
Yeah,
clip with them tomorrow.
yeah. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Anita. Good luck. Stay in
Okay,
touch.
thank you. I will.
Bye bye. All right, Mike's up next. Hi, Mike. You're on mute, Mike.
Hey, yeah, can you hear me?
Go for it.
Yeah, I have a few questions about my situation. So I'm on a student visa, but what happened is I'm pretty much about to go out of status. I was wondering, but I got a job offer in Puerto Rico for an airline that has a base in my country as well as a base in Puerto Rico. So their plan is to get around the labor laws by registering me as an employee at the location in my country, but they planned on giving me a crew member visa so that I could be based out of Puerto Rico, and the crew member visa allows me to operate in and out of Puerto Rico or the US for a maximum of 29 days. I was wondering, if I do go out of status, is it possible for me to still get that crew member visa if I go back to my country? Like, let's say I apply for reinstatement of F1 visa status, would it still be possible for me to get that crew member visa, or would it possibly affect my chances of getting it?
So when do you think, why are you going to go out of status?
It's due to financial reasons.
How long have you been in the United States?
Since August 2017.
So the question is, so you think that if you go out of status that you won't leave the United States before you go out of status?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure. You think that, like, do you know when you're going to fall out of status? Like, do you know what that date is?
Yeah, I would say it should be in April.
And are you saying that you're not going to leave before April? You would leave after April?
Well, oh no, sorry. So I should be going out of status actually within about 2 weeks from now, but I won't be able to
That's
leave.
because you're not paying tuition, and they're going to terminate your CVIS record.
Pretty much, and also, the other problem that I have, I'm not sure if this would affect me, but last year, like, I'm in status right now, but last year there was a 7-month period that went by between my the last school that I attended and the school that I'm currently attending. But
Yeah, so no one at the embassy is going to like you or your case or your attempt to get a crew member visa. So I think this plan, I mean, I was a little bit worried when you started off by saying getting around the labor laws. You should never use that phrase again in your life. That just sounds sneaky and something they won't like. But putting that to the side, you've already had a period of 7 months where you weren't in valid F1 status.
So
you're going to leave.
I was in valid F1 status, but the problem is the time that I attended classes between my transfer out school and my current school was 7 months. So I was in status, meaning I had I-20s that were valid. But the problem is that I know there's a 5-month limit between when you can transfer from one school and begin attending classes at another school. But what I think is, maybe they didn't discover that it was actually 7 months as yet. Like, it just hasn't been discovered.
But you know who's going to discover it?
Who is that?
The embassy official when you're sitting across from them trying to get a crew member visa.
So even though my schools didn't report that, they would still be able to see that.
Well, I think there's a question on there. Have you ever been out of status or violated the terms of your non-immigrant status? But
Uh-huh.
you have lots of problems. One is that you've been in the United States for 4 years. You said that you could financially support yourself, but now you aren't financially supporting yourself, and you're going to leave the United States without a degree, right?
No, so I have my my degree. Like I finished the school that I transferred to, but I was pretty much just in school to buy myself well, me buying
Again,
myself coincidental.
again, don't say stuff like I'm going to school to buy myself time. Don't you get
Right.
there's a lot wrong with what you're saying. I think the chances of you getting a crew member visa, and certainly as it relates to letting you live in Puerto Rico, are about 5%.
Oh wow. Okay. So pretty much if I go to the embassy in Trinidad right now, they would be able to see that 7-month problem.
I think between what you have to disclose
Yeah.
and the fact that you stuck around on an F1 after you graduated, that you have a gap in school coverage, they're going to know exactly what was going on when you transferred schools. You're not going to be the first person to ever sit across to them with a complicated F1 history. They're going to be able to figure out what was going on, and they're not going to like your plan, and they're not going to like the plan that you've been in the United States for 4 years, and now you're trying to stay longer by getting a crew member visa. They're going to say they're going to, an easy way for them to deny it is to say, we don't think you're coming back to Trinidad. We think you want to live in the United States forever.
Oh wow.
So I think there's lots of ways this doesn't work, and very few ways where it does work.
All right, no problem. Well, thank you very much for your help, Mr. Jim.
All right, Mike. See you, buddy.
All right, see you.
All right. I think everybody can tell I'm trying not to cuss, trying not to lose my temper, trying to be nice today. If you didn't see the last few minutes of yesterday's call, I sort of lost my temper. It wasn't my finest moment, but it sure felt good. All right, let's see what Ravi has to say. Hi, Ravi.
Hi, Jim. Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks.
Hey, Jim, I have a quick question. It's short. So my daughter is here on F1 visa, and she has filed for adjustment of status. That includes a travel document and work permit, EAD.
Based on
Based on family ties. She's my daughter, and she is within the range. Her priority date is range. So she's my daughter. I filed for her F3. And based on that family, she got under C9, I believe, is the category.
So her priority date is current.
Yeah.
She's applying as the adult unmarried child of a green card holder or
No,
citizen?
U.S. citizen.
Okay. All right. I got you.
Yeah. So my question to you is, can she apply? Because it's taking time. I don't know how much time EAD will take under adjustment of status. So she is a student. Can she file for second EAD under OPT?
Sure. She can and she should. Yeah, sure.
It should not adversely affect the first. So there will be
No.
separate application.
Nope.
All right, great, sir. Because they are bringing it to the premium processing OPT visa, so we can file then premium. It's coming in March, I believe.
I don't know if you can get premium processing for that.
Yeah, I heard because I keep listening. You are my favorite, so I don't miss any of your episode. I watched it. Even yesterday I was watching. The last guy was from Pakistan somewhere.
Do you think I should take that down? Oh, Ravi, where'd Ravi go?
Yes, please. Thank you so much. That was my question, Jim. Appreciate it.
All right, bye, Ravi. See you, buddy.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sir.
All right. Next up, Saidos. Hi, Saidos.
Hi, Mr. Jim.
How are you?
How are you doing? Thank
Good.
you. I have a few questions for you, please.
Go for it.
So I applied for a green card based on K1 on April 11, 2022. I did my biometrics on May 17, 2022.
Okay.
So they asked for more evidence. So we submitted more evidence.
Like relationship evidence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Relationship.
Okay.
So we submitted the more evidence on June 9, 2022. Since that, we didn't hear from them anything. So last Friday, we received 2 notices on my online account. The first one said a the AED card is being produced. So the question is how much time it will take to shows up to my home, please.
The work card
Yeah.
should you might get it today. It should be a week or two at the most.
Great. Okay, thank you. So my second the second notice about the Form I-485. It said response received on the on Thursday 2023.
Your mic is shorting out, Sados.
Sorry.
It said the update for the 485 said what? It's being processed?
This said the response received on Thursday 23 February 2023. It means last week.
That's weird.
So we will review the evidence. What does it mean?
Okay. So what's the question?
No, the last one, it's what does it mean we will review the evidence?
Well, it sounds like that you didn't give them enough evidence at the beginning, so they weren't sure whether they wanted to approve it. I believe that they wouldn't be issuing the work card if they weren't happy with the evidence that you submitted, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
So I think you're just waiting.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you
All right.
so much.
You got it, Sados. See ya.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's say hi to D. D, are you with us?
Yes. Hey, Jim. My question is 751, Jim. I applied in September 2020. In June 2021, it got updated to interview is ready to be scheduled. But then again in April 22, it got cancelled. And in October, the case status got updated to fingerprinting is taken. And there's no update. It's been 30 months. Don't know if we have any.
Is it?
751.
And what's the receipt date?
September 2020.
And nothing.
Nothing. It says interview scheduled for a year, and then in 2022 April interview was cancelled, and then in October it says fingerprinting's taken again.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a
And
really
it's
long
been 30
time.
months.
Yeah, 30 months. Yeah, you might want to sue them.
I haven't applied for N400. I wasn't sure if that will expedite it or.
I would go ahead and apply for N400. I'm done telling people to wait to file the N400 for the 751 to be approved.
Oh, so we should do it?
I would. If everything's cool with the marriage.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Yeah, I would file.
We're raising a son together, so I think with marriage, everything is good. Yep. But the first interview, Jim, wasn't very good. I mean, the first interview I had, the officer was very rude, and we were separated for an hour, and then I don't know if they have some notes or something that they keep it with them.
Yeah, okay. Probably. What field office?
Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, that's a tough place, man. I've been there.
Yeah. The officer wasn't very friendly.
You might need to sue them whenever you get tired of waiting. Just let us know, and we can file a lawsuit.
I'm already tired. It's been 30 months. So
that's a long time.
Yeah, it is. Yep. So we can start the process, you think? We can start?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I can get in touch with your office.
Yeah, just email or call. Yep.
Okay. All right. That's what I have.
Thanks,
Thank
D.
you.
All right, buddy. Now, a lot of times we'll have two Muhammads in a row. I don't think I've ever had two Ds in a row. So now we have another D. Hi, D.
Hi, how are you? Thanks
Great.
Thank you so much for responding.
Sure.
Okay, so I just have a few questions. I'm a Canadian citizen. My fiance is an American citizen. I have been here we've been together for 2.5 years. I've been going back and forth. Initially, I was planning to just do a TN1 visa and just work here because we were looking to move to Canada in a few years. We have children from previous relationships, and he just wanted to wait for his to graduate from high school. So right now, though, but I ended up getting pregnant, and I had a baby. I had the baby here in the U.S.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So for the time being, I'd like to stay here. The issue we're having right now is just trying to figure out, we'd like to get married, and we're just not sure how to go about doing this because I do still have a job in Canada. I'm on maternity leave at the moment. However, we don't want to be separated if that can be avoided. And I still need the ability to go back and forth between here and Canada because I have another child that's there at the moment that I'm currently in court battling for, to bring here. So
Right.
I'm concerned about just the amount of state. I think I didn't. Okay, so in Canada, I think you can go there for 6 months, leave, and go back for another 6 months. But I don't think it's the case here, which is what I thought it was. So I'm not sure what my so-called status would be here at this time.
When did you enter?
The last time I re-entered was in December.
December?
Yes, of 2022. But I've been doing this back and forth since 2021.
When was the child born?
May of last year.
Oh, on a different trip.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So these are always tricky. These Canadian border cases are always tricky.
Mm-hmm.
So from an immigration standpoint, there's lots of different ways to approach it, but there's always, in situations like this where there's kids and marriage and border stuff and work stuff, there's always competing interest.
Right.
What's the most important thing to you?
To be able to be here in the US and like all of us remain together, but just to be able to travel back to Canada when, like, if needed. Because
so let's say that you got married tomorrow.
Yes.
If you got married tomorrow and applied for everything that you're eligible for, most people are getting their work and travel card in about 7 months. So we can't assume that you're going to get it any faster. Now, every day somebody calls in and says, Jimmy, I got my work card and my travel. Actually, it's the work card has been coming faster. I haven't heard many people talking about the travel document coming faster. So I think you'd have to plan on being stuck here if you applied for 7 or 8 months.
Okay. Would my children be stuck as well? Can they travel back and forth at least to see their father?
Oh man. So they entered at the same time as you?
No, it's been different times just because they've been doing the back and forth to see their dads. So.
Okay. And they're not U.S. citizens?
No.
And have any of them been in the United States for more than 6 months?
Yes.
Okay. So D, this is something.
Not at once. Not at once though.
No, are any of them currently here on a trip that has lasted more than 6 months?
No, none of us are.
Okay.
I just thought within a calendar year you could only do 6 months or something like that. Is that?
No. I mean, and you might have already told me this. I meant to ask it. You don't have a visa, right? You just entered on Canadian visa waiver.
Yes.
Which means you get 90 days.
And I believe I get 6 months. I could be mistaken.
I believe you get 90 days. I'm not sure.
Okay.
We can check. I think you need a lot more help than this phone call can do.
Okay.
Because there's lots of moving parts with kids.
Right.
But just generally, I'll say that I don't know that you're going to be able to do everything you want to do from here. If you have obligations at work and to keep the kids here, you might need to go back. You might want to get married in the United States and then go back to Canada and have your spouse file for you. But then it's going to make it harder for you to come back while that case is pending. And that's why I sort of pressed you on what's the most important, because if being together as much as possible during the process is the most important, then there's one route. If maintaining the ability to bring the kids back and forth to Canada is the most important, that's another thing. If keeping your job. So there's lots of competing interests, just some of which are immigration related.
Yeah, I'm okay with letting go of my job if need be right now. For me, it's just the competing interest I'm having is just having the kids go back and forth. I'd like to stay. It's okay if I stay, while this is going on, and
Uh-huh.
with us and the baby, but the kids need to be able to go back and forth during this
How
process.
old are they?
One is 15 and the other is 12. So they can fly as unaccompanied minors, which is what they've been doing.
And what's the longest they could stay in the United States?
I would have thought, a few months only, just because they've got to see dad. So
Yeah. Okay. So they don't need you to go with them back and forth.
no.
And there's 2 kids?
Yes.
So maybe you just keep the kids going the way that you've been doing it. You apply for a green card. But what's your long-term solution with the kids if they're going to be splitting their time? I mean, you're not going to be able to establish any kind of status for them. And if their mom has a green card and is married to a U.S. citizen, they might get trouble at the airport. The CBP is not going to like this plan for any 3 of you for much longer.
Oh, I see.
All it takes is one crabby officer on one bad day, and this little approach that you've been following is over.
Okay. Yeah, that's my concern, just sort of being turned away, since if they see how much I've actually been here. So
Yeah. And things aren't good with your ex, I guess, huh?
no.
Yeah.
Unfortunately not, no.
Yeah. So that sucks, because that means they have a lot of leverage, because if you can't keep the kid here, I mean, even if I could get them green cards, it sounds like they can't stay all that long anyway.
When you say they can't stay all that long, like they would be able to go to school, it's just they need to just be able to visit over there, just to visit dad. Just for like breaks during spring break, summer break, that sort of thing.
So like if you started the process for the kids at the start of the school year, and then could hopefully get them, I mean, I think you might have to have some kind of talk with your ex about, look, I need them to be able to stay here for 5 or 6 months, because we can't count on them being able to leave for 5 or 6 months when we apply, because they have the same travel card problem that you're going to have.
Do I have to apply for them though? Like, can I just apply for myself and not my children? And can they?
Yeah,
just
but what I'm saying is, yeah, you can, but then their stepfather's in the United States, their mother's in the United States, and that's going to be a problem. And that's what I meant by one bad trip away. And if they're traveling by themselves, I mean, I can see lots of scenarios where this goes sideways.
I see. Okay. All right. So, I'm just wondering if we could do it where. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to figure that out. But with what you said, just one bad trip sort of thing, that's my concern with leaving. So, but you're saying because like, would that affect me getting if we did go through the K1 route and I went back?
See, if you go back, once you file a K1 or once you file an I-130, or once you're married or engaged, then that changes the calculus on whether they let you back in the United States. They don't like people coming back and forth while they have one of those kind of cases pending.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And again, it might be no problem at all, but it might be bad.
Okay. But typically you're saying the best thing would be to, just sort of stay and get married and do it that way. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Dee. Good luck.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay. Have a good day. Kwame's up next. What do you say, Kwame?
Yeah, Jim, how are you?
I'm great.
Good. Jim, I called you the other time. I asked you a question, but I couldn't get really an answer to it. Now, my question is that I got married in September. I got married in June. We filed for application in September, and then I went for my biometric in October. Then, on the same month in October, we received an RFE, which we responded in January. Now, so now I have not received my EAD card. Now, my question is that, what is the timeline between when you file for your application and the time you get your EAD? And do they calculate the time from the day your first application hits their office, or they calculate it from the day they receive an RFE response from you?
In my mind, the way I always do it is they calculate it from when you do your biometrics, and then they subtract any time where the case is under RFE. So all that time under RFE is lost. So then the question is, what was your biometrics? Then add on the time for the RFE. What was the RFE for? Was it for marital evidence or what?
It was for financial evidence, more financial evidence.
Why did it take you so long to get it to him?
Well, we wanted my wife's sister was doing it, but by the time we contacted her, she was somewhere working. So when she came back, the time that she came back and the time we sent out, that was why it took that long, because she was working somewhere. So when
So
she came
that's
back, she responded.
yeah. So that's all lost time, and then there's the time where they just are slowing things down because of the RFE. So I think you still have a couple more months to get the EAD.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's what I wanted.
Bye, Kwame. See you, buddy. All right. Next up, Kevin. Kevin, are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, barely. If you talk a little louder, that'd be great.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is for a I-864,
Okay.
and the problem is my tax returns are all zeros because all my monies are non-taxable. I have an award letter from Social Security Disability and the VA,
Sure.
which is well above the poverty level that I need. But I cannot find anywhere online of what kind of documents or minimum documents that the NDC requires for me to show them.
They won't take it. They won't take it. You need a co-sponsor.
Even with bank deposits and anything like that?
Yep.
Okay. I guess that answers my question.
Thanks, Kevin. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
Next up, Jimmy. What's up, Jimmy?
Not much. How you doing today?
I'm great, thank you. What's up?
That's good. I was wondering on the CR1 versus IR1, when do they start? They count it from the date you get married, but when do they count it from when it's either a CR1 or an IR1? Is it from the date of entry into the U.S., the date of interview, or the date of the medical?
It's the date. It's usually the date that the green card is issued.
Okay.
Why, are you that close?
No, not at all. I'm trying, and also I'm trying to wonder if it's going to be, because I'd rather get an IR1 versus a CR1, so I don't have to do that other step once my wife is here in the U.S.
I would spend no time thinking about that. Just let it play itself out. Whatever happens, just let it happen. You're not gonna be able to control it. So just whatever. What city are we talking about? Philippines?
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna take you more than 2 years, I suspect. So I think you'll be
Okay.
fine.
And the NBC, so when you do the payment, when do they, let's see here, how long does the NBC give you from when you pay it to submit or to have everything finished, like all the documents done?
I think I told you before that part doesn't really matter because the delay in your case is going to be the Philippines. They and Juarez, Mexico are the two slowest embassies in the world.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Bye, Jimmy.
Bye.
Let's say hi to Gurnam. What's up, Gurnam?
Hi, sir. Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I have a question. Like, I did file a I-130 for my wife, and it has been approved after 2 years, and it's already. I got 232 days back. It was approved last year in July, and till now they are not transferring my case to NVC. And then I was keep calling them, why you are not transferring my case to NVC? And then they said you have to file A24 to do action on approved petition. So I say okay. And last year in December, I also filed A24 to do something action on approved, petition.
So December of 22.
Yeah, last year.
Why didn't they send your case to the National Visa Center? Did you say that your wife was in the United States or that you wanted to adjust status?
No, I already told them like my wife, she's in India, and I don't know why they say like, oh, okay, you have to file A24 to do any action on it. So I say, okay, I follow them, and I filed A24 to do something because I have to follow them, but still nothing happened on my case. Still my case is, I mean, I-130 is approved and it's already July to now you see how many months the case is not moving to NVC.
So as far as you know, it's still at USCIS.
Yeah, I'm keep calling them. They say, "Oh, we're working on it," and I told them, like you said, I have to file A24 to do anything action on approved case. So I already did that, but still nothing happened. And I always request them, please expedite or do something, because it's already 3 years we are apart each other, and they
Yeah.
not understand. Because
Well,
I did, sorry,
no, you're okay.
I did filed my case in 2020. I think in July 2020, and it was approved in 2022 in July, same after exactly 2 years. I mean, I think only 1 day less the date I was filed, and after 2 years I got approved, and then now they are not transferring to NVC, and I also filed A24 also.
Are you a citizen or a green card holder?
Green card, sir.
Did a lawyer file your I-130 or did you file it on your own?
No, actually, I tell you honestly, he was not a lawyer, but he do like I mean immigration things like file the.
And I just want to make sure you do not believe that there was any mistakes on your application that made them think that she was here in the United States.
Yeah, yeah, there's one letter they sent me after 3 months after the approval of that petition. They said you mark on both column, like you want the processing in the United States and outside the United States, and they said you mark both, so you have to choose one.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to know, because I wanted to know if this big delay in sending it on to the National Visa Center was your fault or their fault. It sounds like it was the fake lawyer that you hired's fault.
Yes, sir.
Because he checked both boxes.
Yes, sir. That's the problem. Yeah.
So again, everybody, that's today's call on why you don't use fake lawyers, why you only hire real lawyers. I think that you might wait another 6 or 8 months on that I-824, or you could sue USCIS and just tell them you want to get the case moving to the National Visa Center. It's a lot of money just to get them to do that little thing, but otherwise you might be waiting another 7-9 months.
So that's why I calling what I should do. That's why I want to contact you, and
Yeah,
it's very
I think if we sue them, they'll send it on right away. I don't think they'll mess around with it.
Okay, so how I can follow up you?
Yeah, so at the bottom of the screen right now, you'll see our contact information. You can email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, or you can call that number right there, 314-961-8200. Say, my name is Gurnam Singh, and I was just on the show with Jim.
Okay. So what is good time to call?
You can call right now. Operators are standing by.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye, Gurnam. See you, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, so just another lesson again, why we don't use fake lawyers. And Sai says they like it when I use the F word, fake lawyers. And I'm done calling people notarios or helpers or form fillers. I'm just calling them what they are, which is fake lawyers. Canardo's here. What's up, Canardo?
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
I'm well.
Okay, great. So basically, Jim, right? I'm basically gonna be filing my case, me and my wife, right? And it's like, I've been seeing your one of your video, where you were talking about how when you send your case in and you don't got a bunch of evidence, how basically, you just getting denied,
Yeah, that's their new trick. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm honestly concerned, me and my wife, we filed tax together and we live together and everything, but it's just that just that fear, where I'm wondering when is the evidence enough, you get what I mean?
Well, have you downloaded our list of marital evidence?
Yeah, I downloaded the list of all of your marital evidence. I'm actually one of your clients. You get what I mean? But just seeing even the I think it was yesterday when you were talking to Lucas and what happened to him. it's just like really crazy, you know.
Yeah,
So
I don't think you need to worry about that. Certainly not if you're working with our office, because we know how to put the case together. So I wouldn't worry about that. If it's a legit relationship and you're working with us, we'll get them plenty of evidence. We don't get notices of intent to deny like that. That's just people that file on their own and think they can just mail it in and bring in more evidence later. I don't think you need to worry about it.
okay then, Jim, because like you know, we honestly want to get it through the gate so that I can get like my EAD, so that we can have even more evidence. You get what I mean? Because like then
Sure.
I'm gonna be able to work and get insurance and all of that.
What do you want to
me
be?
and my
You're on a B1, B2?
I was on a work visa originally, and it expired. And
Okay.
then you told me that I was supposed to like get married before my visa expired.
Well, I didn't tell you to get married. I would have outlined your immigration options if you got married, but I never tell people to get married.
Oh yeah, correct. So basically that's what happened, and we basically got married, and we started the process of getting ready to file right now.
All right,
So
great, Canardo. Well, which team are you working with?
I think I'm working with Nadine or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Okay, Nyan.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, I'll reach out to Nyan. We'll check in on your case, make sure things are looking good. Okay.
Okay, then cool, Jim. Take care.
Bye, Canardo. See ya. All right, I saw an interesting comment here from Natasha. Hey, everyone. My K-1 petition was approved by USCIS and sent to the U.S. State Department. But after a couple of months, they sent it back to USCIS. Is that normal? No, Natasha, that's not normal. But you're now the third person to tell me this in the last 2 weeks. Now, I'm not the brightest bulb in the bunch. But when something happens once, I sort of pay attention. When something happens twice, I start scratching my head. And now you're the third person to tell me this. This is telling me that something's going on between the State Department and USCIS. And I think what it is that there's a little bit of playing games going on between the agencies. They both know that everybody's on to their slow ass ways of processing cases. And so in an effort to try to blame someone else for their delays, if they see anything off on an approved I-129F, they're just sending it right back to USCIS. I haven't heard back, Natasha, yet from any of the people who've received that. But when I do, I'll talk about it on the show. If you find out what it is that they're asking for, please let us know. All right. Vino's here.
Hey
Hi,
Jim,
Vino.
how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing well, Jim. So I have three questions today. So first question is, one of my friend's daughter, she entered the US in while she was 16 years old, and she got her green card in 2016. So she did not apply for the selective services, and now she's 23 years old and 6 months, and she's eligible to apply for the N400. And one of the important document that they require for N400 is the selective services registration document. So she's 23 right now. Is it possible to get that registered now, and will it be fine? How does that work?
Women don't have to register for selective service.
Oh, cool, great. So the second one is the I-130 application that I got approved for my wife. So I just now noticed that on one of the section where they ask for date of admission. So for the date of admission, by mistake, I have mentioned it as 2014, which is the actual year I entered, but I got my green card in 2016. So should I, is that a problem, or is it fine? The I-130 is already approved, and we are in the NVC stage waiting for the interview letter.
It's okay.
Oh, cool. So the third question is, so is the IR1 category interviews are faster than the CR1?
No.
It's the same.
Mhm.
Okay.
You mean the length of the interview itself, or how fast it comes?
How fast we receive the interview?
Yeah, no, I don't think they put IRs ahead of CRs.
Okay, just wanted to clarify. Thank you so much, Jim. That's all I have.
Great, Vino. Thanks for having all your questions nice and ready. All right. Muhammad's here. Muhammad was here yesterday. I couldn't get to Muhammad. Muhammad, what's up? Muhammad Habibi, Zayek. Oh, Muhammad can't hear us. All right, all right. Let's say hi to Naveed. Hi, Naveed.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. Sorry, I paused my camera because I'm a citizen of Iran. For the safety of my family, I just turned off my camera.
Not a problem.
So, if I want to sum up, like, I'm an Iranian citizen here, and I have a pending asylum, and it's been like 4 years plus. It's been pending, and the question I have, I don't know if you have heard of like the situation in Iran. So every day there is a protest in the street, and government is killing the people in the street. Somehow, it's very. So my asylum is based on political and religious, and I didn't take any action so far to sue the USCIS on my case, but because of the current situation, is it a good time to sue them, and would it help my case? Because the reason I'm saying that, before this, I thought I need to have a lot of evidence to prove, so if I'm right or wrong, to the officer.
You're right.
But with the current situation, do you think it's the right time to do this?
Well, so what's the receipt date on your asylum application?
It's March 2019.
And so that was 4 years ago.
Yes.
And would you say that in Iran things have gotten worse for people like you or better for people like you?
No, it got worse, even not like me, even for
Yeah. Did a lawyer file your asylum case, or did you file it on your own?
I have a lawyer.
Okay. And what we do when someone comes to us like asylum, and you've never had an interview, right?
No.
So when someone comes to us in a situation like yours, here's what we do. We say, Naveed, let us take a look at your file and let us see how strong we think your case is. And more importantly, let us figure out what updates need to happen on your case. So because asylum is different, if you don't get asylum from the asylum office, then you go to deportation court unless you have some other kind of status, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're sort of extra careful when we file lawsuits on asylum cases. And one of the things that happens when we file asylum cases is people that have been waiting 4 years get an interview like in 6 weeks. So we'd rather get everything ready before we file so that we're not scrambling to do it after we file. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
So what we typically do on a case like this is we say, Naveed, send us what you sent to USCIS. We'll tell you on a scale of 1 to 10 how strong we think the case is. We tell you what work we think needs to be done to make the case better. And then once everybody agrees that it's ready, then we sue them, because then we're going to get an interview pretty quickly and we're ready to go.
Mm-hmm. And does the asylum office matter in terms of like timing?
No.
When you sue? Okay.
No one's going to argue with us that 4 years is a reasonable amount of time.
No, I mean, in terms of like when you sue the government, how long does it take you get the response back?
Oh, well, which one do you have?
I'm in Arlington.
Yeah, so we've sued them many times. They'll get cooking. It doesn't matter. Like I said, everyone's going to swing into action on a 4-year-old case.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
It's just Chicago. Chicago works really fast.
Okay. And a side question I have.
Yeah.
So in Washington, D.C. area, there like every Saturday, there's like Iranian protests, against Iranian government. So do you think attending this kind of, event or protest would help my case, or?
Well, of course, we would never do it just to help the case. We would do it because we want to protest the people. And
I've been more than a couple of times, during that period, maybe during the 5 months. So when the revolution started in Iran, it wasn't in my intention, to attend the protest because I want to show to the USCIS. That's why I didn't take any records. I didn't take any pictures of myself. So so the question is like, if it helps, so next time if I'm attending, at least I take 1 or 2 pictures, which I'm attending this kind of movement.
I don't think I think that's fine that you went, and I think if you get an interview, you'll explain that to them. I don't think they're going to get swayed much by pictures or that you went. I don't think they put much stock in behavior by the applicant in the United States after they filed for asylum. They just sort of assume that's in line with what you're saying.
That's what I thought. That's why I didn't want it to. Yeah, I don't want it to take advantage of. Okay, since I'm here, I'm doing this. Let's take some pictures. So yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right, Naveed, see you, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming on. All right, everybody, that'll do it for today's show. Thank you to my good friend, Ms. Skyla. Always enjoy having Skyla here in the chat, watching over people. Stainless Noble asked something about an F1 visa. I was trying to find the comments. We don't work on non-immigrant visas, but we do help people on F1s who are trying to adjust status based on marriage. We do those cases all the time. I am a lawyer, in case anyone was wondering. Somebody was asking in the comments. But yeah, I did say we're busy. And when I said we're busy, what I meant is we're still handling and taking on lots of new cases, but we don't have time to do a side research project just for one person. That's what I meant. So we're not taking on, Javal was asking about a big research project over whether or not he was too old under the CSPA. And that's sort of where that question was coming from. Everybody, we'll be back tomorrow Thursday. Thanks, Sky, at 4 p.m. Central. 4 p.m. Central tomorrow, Thursday, and 4 p.m. Central on Friday. Everyone, please note, I did not lose my temper today. How about that? Yay, gold star for Jim. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks, Skyla.